Hey guys, James here again, and this is going to be what if Deku was Garp. I believe someone who commented this was Logan Rawls or something. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name right, but Logan R. He commented on my Red Hood video that I should do this. I've been trying to do it for like almost like 2 weeks, but I haven't had any good ideas. But she requested it, so I'm gonna do it. And so Deku in this one is going to be born with a quirk called Punch. You know, it's called Combat Enhancement. When Deku is fighting, his body will actually boost all of its senses. And in other words, this is going to be his hockey. If Deku will actually train his quirk hard enough, the access substance will manifest. But otherwise, it's just called combat. And his quirk will actually just increase his senses, his strength, his speed, his reflexes, like while he's fighting. Otherwise, he's a normal guy. Like if he's not being attacked or he's not attacking anyone, his senses are normal. But if someone's punching or kicking at him, his senses will be enhanced, even if it's like a joke. Like his senses will just instantly enhance. So yeah, he's quirkless. He's quirkless. Never mind. Because Garp doesn't have a devil fruit, and devil fruit would be like Deku's quirk. So Deku's gonna be quirkless. Never mind. Okay. In this one, there's gonna be a new student in their school. Well, first, I'm gonna add one student to Bakugo and Deku's school, and I'm going to say it is. Momo. Momo's the new student in their school, and Momo, Bakugo, and Deku become friends. And Bakugo's only friends with Midoriya because Midoriya has very strong punching power and kicking power. Like he's just very strong. He's just very strong in general. And this is where we go to when they're 10. Midoriya, Bakugo, and Momo. Like Midoriya is more like Garp, so he's more fun and not really shy. He's more like a Garp kind of character, just goofy. He has a strong sense of justice. Garp in this one is more like a Sengoku kind of guy. He's the one that tries to keep Deku in line. And Momo's more like their Suru. She's the more like their strategist and the more calm and collected one. So in other words, like they're kind of like a Midnight, Aizawa, and President Mike trio with except Bakugo would be close to being Aizawa. That's it. So in this one, Bakugo doesn't really yell as much. Midoriya beat the yelling out of Bakugo one time. Bakugo, when they're like 8, challenged Midoriya to a fight. Midoriya's first move was to jump on Bakugo and just pound his face in. And the only person that stopped the fight was Mitsuki, because she saw Bakugo had a broken nose already from the first 2 hits. So yeah. Midoriya, his favorite thing would actually just punching a punching bag. Like he likes punching things. Bakugo would dub Midoriya the Fist. So yeah. And I'm gonna add one little. I'm gonna change Bakugo's quirk. He's gonna have a quirk called Shockwave. He can slam his hand in a certain direction and create like a miniature shockwave to slam, like just blow them away. And I'm not changing Momomo's quirk because Suru's Devil Fruit is pretty funny but useless at the same time unless you know how to use it. And because she's a battle strategist, she doesn't know how to use it. But Momo is more like just brains, not really that much battle smarts unless it comes like in the heat of the moment. So Momo has the same quirk. Bakugo does not. Bakugo has a different quirk called Shockwave, like I said before. Miniature shockwaves in a certain direction. And no, they're not All Might level. They're like if Bakugo trains enough, they're All Might level. But right now they're more like they can really fill up a room at max. But they do create a immense amount of pain and pressure on you. Midoriya and Momo are the only ones that know how to counteract this. Midoriya has a very strong will and body, so it doesn't really work on him. Momo can actually just throw something at Bakugo to distract him while his quirk is activated. So yeah. Alright, we're gonna go to when Midoriya, Momo, and Baku are 12. So in this one, Midoriya's first name is Garp, not Izuku. So Garp Midoriya. Midoriya is in class sleeping. Baku is trying to shake him awake. Momo just like has her head in her hand saying, "What am I gonna do with you two?" And Midoriya will wake up as he has like a rice cracker in hand saying, "Sorry, I fell asleep." As he just throws it in his mouth and falls asleep again. So yeah. Midoriya is also well known from beating up kids that try to fight him. Like kids from the school try to beat up Midoriya because they don't. He's probably one of the best fighters in Japan, and people don't believe that because he's quirkless. Kids from other schools try to fight Midoriya. They always leave with at least two or more broken bones. Midoriya does not let them get away without any. Like they have to leave with battle scars. And also, the way Midoriya has the scar on his face because he has the same one as Garp. It was Bakugo that gave him the scar. Bakugo tried to use the shockwave on Midoriya for the first time and actually destroyed something that was like a pipe, and it burst near Midoriya's head and it just hit Midoriya in the face. It busted open Midoriya's face. So yeah. Right, back to present time. The teacher will say that, Midoriya, Bakugo, and Momo, all three of them apply to UA. And everyone thinks they can do it. But they don't think Midoriya can do it because of how much he sleeps. They're like, "Oh no, you're with your power and smart, you'd be fine. It's just, you always sleep and eat and laugh. That is it. Like, well, you've never seen you read a book once." And the teacher, like, even mumbled under his breath, "I don't even think he can get in UA. Like, I know he's smart, it's just, I don't even think he knows how to read." And, like, Midoriya doesn't know how to read. It's just, he's very slow. He just reads very slowly. Alright, Bakugo stopped shaking Midoriya as he just put his hand on Midoriya's head and just started like making a shockwave on Midoriya's face. And it made like the amount of pain makes Midoriya wake up fully. It's alright, I'm up. And I just wipe the blood from his nose. Everyone except Momo and Bakugo are shocked that Midoriya all he had was a little bit of a blood droplet. Well, Bakugo did that to someone. He cracked their skull. Teacher will ask Midoriya if he's sure when he wants to go to UA. Midoriya says, I'm only going because those two are. I don't really go anywhere without them. Everyone's like, that explains it. Midoriya's too lazy to actually fully apply to UA out of his own will. So yeah. I'm gonna go through the 10 months. Midoriya's actually started reading books a lot more, and actually started hitting the gym. At this point, he's more like a Garp level of buff. Like you can visibly tell he's bigger. So if you guys don't know how tall Garp is, pretty sure Sengoku's 9'6", while Garp's 9'1". So in this one, Midoriya's gonna be 7 feet tall. But before the break, he was only 6 feet. So in 10 months, Midoriya grew 1 foot. And Bakugo is Midoriya's height. While Suru is 6'8", so Momo's around 6'3" in this one. Right. At the gate of UA, Midoriya's actually beat Bakugo and Momo there. He's just kind of waiting as he's just in a tank top. And when Momo and Bakugo get there, they're surprised to see how big Midoriya got. And Bakugo is 2 usually because he's usually been taller than Midoriya. Bakugo's been usually towered over Midoriya and Momo. This time he's matching Midoriya. He says, so you grew. Midoriya says, yeah, and you grew as well. Momo says, I grew 3 inches. That is it. And she's just gonna have a slight crying face. So Midoriya starts walking in, and he sits down. He sits in the chair, he falls asleep. And Bakugo knows Midoriya has a valid excuse for this, because Midoriya actually stayed up till 4 in the morning just working out. Bakugo heard Midoriya working out, and Momo did try to wake Midoriya up, but because she saw Bakugo wasn't, he told her to stop. Midoriya was working hard last night. Ida heard this and was like, he has confirmation he actually was working hard. I'll let this pass for once. Or this once. This one time. After the exam, Baku kind of just shakes Midoriya awake. Does some flea work, so Baku like uses 2 fingers and creates a shockwave on Midoriya's head. Midoriya wakes up and just does the test, and to everyone's shock, he gets number 1. As Simon gets up, Baku says, "Wait, how'd you get number 1? You're usually like number 5." Midoriya says, to become a hero, you need to train your body and your mind." Then he passes out while standing up. Baku's kind of just like slap his nose and say, "Up." So yeah, alright, the robots. Momo and Bakugo and Midoriya, they all got in on recommendation because of their school, but they want to take the test and be normal for once. So, yeah. And President Mike's trying to count down, but Midoriya just said, there's no countdowns in real battle, and he just jumps over the gate. And Ida's like, "Wait, what? This is a villain battle, but it's villain battle," and he just jumps over the gate with Midoriya by using his feet. Then Araka's gonna follow suit. President Mike said, follow them. Are you stupid? There's no countdowns." And they all just try to lift up the gate. And Ida's he's kitchen with Midoriya saying, "That was very smart of you. Thank you for giving us the hint." And he runs off. And Midoriya's just punching and throwing robots. That's it. Remember how Ugin fought the Mafia in Hunter x Hunter? But picture Midoriya as Ugin and the Mafia as the robots. That's what Midoriya's doing to them, basically. By the end of the exam, Midoriya has around, 180 points. Bakugo has 100. No, Bakugo has 200. And Momo has 100. No, Momo just has 100, basically. Midoriya 120, Bakugo 200, Momo 100. And Bakugo taking this a lot more seriously. And he made a move called Buddha Clasp, where he puts his hands together and then meditates. He goes in meditating position with his hands clasped together, and then just a shockwave erupts and actually fills up around 4 blocks of a shockwave. And robots in that vicinity are destroyed. Bakugo controls what is destroyed in the shockwave in this one because his mind is actually empty. His mind is kind of empty, but the robots are in it a little bit. So those are the only things destroyed. So yeah, right. Midoriya has to walk away. Then you hear a scream. He'll see who it is and just run after her. Then he's actually holding up the robot's foot, saying, "Alright, can you move?" He says no. As Midoriya just reach down as far as he can, and then just pick up the piece of rubble and just stick it. He's gonna throw it through the robot's foot, kind of like a frisbee. He's gonna kind of stick it in the robot's foot and then just punch it through fully. As it exits the robot's knee, it's going to go straight through its head, destroying it. And everyone's like, "What punching force?" And Arcane can see steam coming off Midoriya's fist, because that's how fast Midoriya punches. And the robot's not fully down. They're going to pick up Araka and actually ask Ida to take her to the exit. Ida's going to oblige, as Midoriya's going to use every ounce of strength in his body, pick up a building, and just chuck it towards the Zero Pointer's head. And then go straight through it, destroying it. And this building was already half destroyed, so Midoriya didn't really get minus points for that. So, yeah. And because of that, Midoriya actually got 80 rescue points. He got 60. Yeah, we got 40 villain points for taking down the Zero Pointer in a more creative way than anyone's ever done. But we got 40 points for rescuing Araka. That's 80 points. And actually gave him a tie with Bakugo's points, 200. And out of his friends, Midoriya's the only one with rescue points. Midoriya kind of figured you would get rescue points if you rescued people. So he actually rescued. He was going to, but he didn't want to. He kind of just put that together towards the end. Midoriya's walking home, and Midoriya's score was told to him, saying that's pretty amazing. But he was told away from his friends. And if you destroyed the Zero Pointer, or you did get rescue points in this one. So my mom by the end has around 60 rescue points. Bakugo destroyed the Zero Pointer a lot earlier, so he had 160 and got 40 points for destroying it. So yeah. the time Midoriya and Bakugo leave, Bakugo actually asked Midoriya for the rice cracker since he couldn't smell them on Midoriya. And on the walk home, he asked what their points were. Momo says 160. Bakugo says 200. Midoriya says 200 as well. They're like, wait, what? 200? And Bakugo says, you tied with me. First in height, now in power. What'd you do? Midoriya says, I picked up a building and threw it through the Zero Pointer's head. Bakugo said, wait, you can pick up a building? Midoriya straight up walked up to a building, not even caring who's around. He stuck his hand through the ground and started lifting up the building on the side with one hand. Midoriya yanking his hand up under it, saying, told you. And Momo said, Midoriya, you cannot just be doing that. As she's actually created the necessary materials to fix the building. She apologized for Midoriya's behavior and fixed it. Sorry about that accent that I put on for no reason. Right, now fast forward 1 week. Midoriya, Bakugo, and Momo are walking to school, and Midoriya likes suits. Bakugo doesn't even know why, but Midoriya likes them. I do too, to be honest. So Midoriya's walking there, and he already has a UA uniform on. Bakugo has it on as well, so does Momo. And one thing Midoriya can't help but notice, the outfit doesn't really fit Momo, because of her assets. So Midoriya's actually gonna just take off his coat and put it on Momo's chest, because she doesn't notice it. She'll try to give it back to Midoriya, but then notice what's going on. So she'll just create a new one while using Midoriya's giant body as cover. Hence Midoriya is like a lot wider than most people because of his pure muscle mass. So Midoriya does the thing like Garp, where he kind of wears like the jacket on the outside. That's what Midoriya is doing. And because Midoriya is so huge, you can actually just hide behind him. Bakugo is more on like the lean side, while Midoriya is on the more burly side. And to take advantage of this, Bakugo kind of just jumped on Midoriya's shoulder, saying, alright, you can just carry me there. And Momo did the same by hopping on Midoriya's other shoulder. Midoriya walks through the doors of UA, walks through the doors of Class 1A, with everyone questioning why his friends are asleep on his shoulder. Midoriya's like his own kind of form of sign language, but telling Class 1A to cover their ears. They did ask Midoriya to just yelled as loud as he can. He just kind of clapped as loud as he can, and his friends woke up. Got off, went to their seats, and sat down. And Araki just ran up to Midoriya and just said he was awesome, thank you. And Ida told Midoriya that he was amazing for figuring out the second form of points. Midoriya said, I didn't actually figure it out until I left UA. Until I left the entrance exams. Ida said, oh, I see. So you didn't know during the exams? Midoriya said, no. They only mentioned villains. But then I figured we were going to a school to become heroes, and what do heroes mainly do? They rescue people. So I figured we would probably get points for rescuing people. And Ida just put it together, saying, that makes sense. And he sat back down. And a lot of people that can only recognize, they don't know Midoriya's quirk, but they do know Bakugo and Momo's. And I'll actually bring this up to Midoriya, saying, hey, what's your quirk? And Araki said, it's probably some form of super strength. Bakugo and Momo can't help but chuckling. Then everyone's like, what's so funny? And Bakugo says, our friend there is a brute without a quirk. What do you mean a brute without a quirk? If he didn't have a quirk, he'd already be physically strong? Bakugo said, no. His strength, the strength that you saw him use, is him without a quirk. And Araki said, he can lift up a building without a quirk? Rory said, yeah. And Araki said, I don't believe that. And everyone's like, if you don't have a quirk, arm wrestle me. See how strong you physically are. And Midoriya actually slammed everyone's hand down with one finger. The only person that stood a good chance was Shoji, by using 5 arms to help him. But Midoriya had to use 2 fingers. The only person that could actually arm wrestle Midoriya on a fair field was Bakugo and Momo teaming up on him. So yeah, Midoriya actually had to use his whole hand and just slam their hand down. I'm like, whoa, Midoriya's a beast. Alright, outside. Midori and Bakugo, and they both are handed a ball and see how far they can throw it. They're both just brutes in their own right, but Bakugo, if he does charge up enough like of a shockwave, he actually fires something off. So he's charging up a shockwave in his hand. Midori just straight up chucks it. Midori gets around 8,000 meters. Bakugo gets 7,999 meters. 1 meter less than Midoriya. Bakugo's pissed. Like, he's just yelling. And, like, Momo and Midoriya are scared. Bakugo's about to let off a shockwave. Midoriya's first instinct is just to just grab Bakugo's face and just hold it till he passes out just from lack of air. And once Bakugo's about to pass out, he calms down. Midoriya said, "I've never had to do that to him, and he's scary when he's angry." Other test. Only one Midoriya didn't get first place in is the ball throw. Midoriya's grip strength is out of this world. Midoriya's speed is he's a little bit faster than Ida. Well, see, Midoriya got second place in speed. Bakugo got number 1. And he could also fire himself using his shockwaves. So he fired himself using his biggest shockwave, but once the shockwave formed in his hand, he kind of just crushed it together, and it fired him back. Bakugo got 1 second. Midoriya got 2.4. So Bakugo 1 second. Midoriya 2.4. Ida 3.4. Momo got 4th place with a 3.4 with a 3.5. She's almost as fast as Ida. And everyone's kind of just hinting on how they all have the same style when they wear their same UA clothes. They wear the jacket on the outside but keep the dress shirt. And Midoriya did that first, then Bakugo thought it was kind of cool, so he started doing it, and Momo started copying Bakugo. Then it just became a style for them. And they go back to class, and Midoriya and Bakugo and Momo are the only ones not tired. Bakugo is a little tired since he had to use 2 of his best shockwaves, but then crush them. He was making him have a recoil. It was really stressing for him. Heroes versus villains. Everyone wants to be on part of the 3 strongest in their class's team. They want to be on their team, but they are dreading fighting them. That's when it's revealed. They don't get teammates. They have to fight by themselves versus 2 other people. So Midoriya, he has to fight Ida, and Midoriya has to fight Sato and Kirishima. Sato uses as much sugar as he can. Kirishima hardens to the point he almost unlocks Unbreakable. Kirishima can feel it. He's like, I can go further as he tries to use it, but it's they're also about to run up the stairs to Sato's a little bit faster, so he goes up the one staircase and Kirishima wants to come up as well, but then you just see Sato punch straight back down, and everyone they can see a fist imprint on the side of Sato's head. They're like, oh god, that's how hard he punches when he's serious. And Bakugo and Momo said, no, that's not even close to him being serious. He never takes anything seriously. Kirishima hardens his head to the point where he actually unlocks Unbreakable just in his head. And Midoriya said, oh, he just starts crushing Kirishima's head. And Kirishima said, not gonna work. And he just smiles, and then he tries to punch Midoriya in the gut. Midoriya is not fazed by it as Midoriya starts crushing Kirishima's head, and the rock starts crumbling off Kirishima. The point where Midoriya just says, alright, I'll go all out just once. As he just crushes Kirishima's head. Not killing him, but Kirishima just passes out from the amount of blood he just lost in that one move. And Momo and Bakugo are impressed that Kirishima made Midoriya go all out. That's because Kirishima hardened his head harder than diamond. But Midoriya basically just crushed a diamond in his bare hand. And said, that's a lot of blood. As he just kind of started wiping his hand on the wall. Girl came in, healed Kirishima, and Sato, there wasn't any major injury to his skull, but he does have a very big, is a very, sincere, not sincere. I forgot the word. Serious concussion. So, Midoriya was reprimanded for that one, and Momo told him that he was pretty stupid for doing that. But was impressed his grip strength can crush a diamond. Midoriya said, oh, I could have done that using half my strength. So, what she did was beyond a diamond. He actually just like showed his hand, like put his hand on the wall and tried like pressing down on it. And then his fist imprint, not his fist, his like hand imprint was being just like put all over the wall at different sizes. The first Midori put a hand on it, used like less than half, like used less than a quarter. He already has a hand imprint. In half, it grows to about probably the size of All Might on the wall. And Midori goes all out. Midori shoves the wall halfway across like the fake city they're in. And like, that is the extent of his punch. So yeah. Our next arc is the USJ. Midoriya's hero suit looks something like this. Like, it's just a suit, but it's fireproof and bulletproof. Well, the outer jacket's bulletproof. Like his suit is just fireproof. And hold up, I have to find a picture of Garp, Sengoku, and okay, so just picture Sengoku with blonde hair and not an afro. Suru looks more or less like Momo already. And Momo actually does carry a rifle with her at all times, but there's rubber bullets in her rifle. And they all wear a suit. So yeah. After they're in the USJ just talking about how quirks can be dangerous but helpful. And Momo and Baku very well know Midori doesn't need to pay attention to this. Like, Midori doesn't have a quirk, it doesn't matter. So Midori is just sleeping through the whole thing. Then he wakes up suddenly and stares to the center of USJ and sees the portal appear, saying, "Hey Bakugo, when everyone gets out of that portal, use your biggest shockwave on them." And Bakugo says, "Got it." And once all the villains come out, Bakugo says, "Fell into my trap." And so he'll point his hand out towards them and use his biggest shockwave since he's already charging it up. And to Shiraki's horror, Kurogiri is almost knocked out, but he's barely conscious. Nomu's on the ground trying to regenerate, and all the villains he brought with him are all knocked out. And that's when Momo will point her rifle at Shiraki and just hit him in the head with a rubber bullet, knocking him out. She didn't hit him in the neck with it, just knocking him out just because of lack of air. Kurogiri says, "Alright, we haven't been in here for 5 minutes, and most of us are already down. Nomu, beat them." Nomu will charge towards them, and Kurogiri says, "Alright, Master Shigaraki, this All Might isn't here, but this should kill the students." As Midori was just go in front of them and just catch Nomu's fist, saying, "Do you really think you can beat me like that?" As he'll just rip off Nomu's arm with ease. And just punch Nomu back into towards Kurogiri and Shigaraki. Nomu will land and it starts regenerating its arm, and then it goes blow for blow with Midoriya. As Midoriya is dodging every hit Nomu throws, since Midoriya knows his torso aren't as durable as his hands. At one point, Midoriya's getting sick of the Nomu, and actually just jumps with gets him up the Nomu's head and just jump in the air. Then he has to face the Nomu's head towards the ground and just slam it down there. As the Nomu's beak just shatters. And Midoriya says, "Well, let's be over with." And so he'll just stomp on Nomu's head as hard as he can, making a giant shockwave go towards people. And Nomu is not getting up. Kurogiri says, "Damn it," as he'll teleport out of there. And Ida came back 5 minutes later with All Might and sees the villains are all knocked out and bleeding from head to toe. But 2 of them are missing. One of them, the giant creature, is struggling to even gain consciousness again. Somebody does get close to him, Midori stomps on its head again. And All Might says, "Well, what happened here?" As I will say, Midoriya, Momo, and Bakugo saved us today. That's what happened. It's Nomu actually rush at All Might once it sees him. But to All Might's shock, Midoriya already has the Nomu by the head, saying, "Alright, I'm getting sick of you." And so it crushes Nomu's whole head except its beak. And Midoriya crushed its brain fully, so Nomu's down for the count. Sports festival. I'm going up to like the hero killer arc, and that's it. Sports festival. And Midoriya's there, and he is chosen. Bakugo is chosen to give the speech. He doesn't give the same speech. He just says, "All we care about that we all do good enough to the point where we can all get a internship recommendation and go beyond plus ultra." And he just steps down. Midoriya just says, "That speech was weak as hell, Bakugo." Bakugo's gonna kind of slap him and say, "Shut up, you big oaf." Midoriya's gonna like plop some food in his mouth and say, "All right." And once the race starts, Todoroki's first instinct: freeze Momo, Midoriya, and Bakugo first. Like Momo, Bakugo, Ida, Midoriya. Freeze them. Freeze those four. Then he'll go for that, and it'll succeed. But Midoriya punches the ground as hard as he can, flipping everyone like almost on their back, except like Momo, Todoroki, Ida, and Bakugo. They weren't flipped. But Midoriya actually just rush off, and is rushing at Todoroki's speed. And Midoriya, like, his max speed is like All Might level. But like Bakugo, Todoroki, not Bakugo, Todoroki. Bakugo, his max speed is probably about, sound speed if he uses his shockwave for help. Momo is like Ida's speed normally. If she goes all out, she probably rush at lightning speed. Then she goes all out, rushing ahead of everyone. Midoriya's gonna get like in a runner's pose and say, "I don't think so." And Momo just jumped over the minefield. So she ran through like the ropes, ran through the zero planers. She just jumped over the minefield, and right as she's about to pass, these explosions go off behind her. Then Midoriya is just in front of her, easily saying, "Too slow," as so to get to first place, saying, "I win." Bakugo comes in a close second, and Momo comes in third, saying, "How the hell did you two beat me like that?" Bakugo says, "You slowed down once you saw Midoriya pass you. So I caught up and won." Midoriya's gonna just throw a rice cracker in Momo's mouth as she's about to yell at them, and saying, "No, quiet." And everyone's confused on how Midoriya always has rice crackers with him. I think it's his favorite food. He doesn't go anywhere without them. He has them in his pockets at all times, even right now. And at least 20. So yeah. So Bakugo loves animals, so he has like random pets around his house. In his room, he has a goat, because Sengoku has a pet goat in One Piece. Oops, 5%. So yeah, Midoriya wins the race. Bakugo comes in second. Momo comes in third. Momo third. Alright, Midoriya's team: Bakugo, Momo, and Tokoyami. So yeah, he thinks like Tokoyami's probably one of the most powerful in Class 1A. And Tokoyami actually asked Midoriya, why do you want me to be on your team? Midoriya says, You're easily one of the most powerful kid in 1A. Why else would I want you on my team?" And that gives Tokoyami a major confidence, because he's like, all right. You think I'm powerful? I'll be the most powerful for you on your team. But Tokoyami's the lightest, so he's the horse. Not the horse. Tokoyami's the lightest, so he's the rider. Midoriya is the heaviest in Class 1A, so yeah. And like Midoriya and Bakugo and Momo are just running around the whole field. And like Momo will try to get close, and he wants to copy Midoriya's quirk instead, because he thought that speed's incredible. It'll be useful. Then Bakugo actually just once the guy with solid air gets close, Bakugo will tap the guy's arm, and then a giant shockwave will just blow them apart. And Momo's head will hit the ground, so he's disqualified. So yeah. Then Todoroki will try to come after them. Momo will instantly form an actual rifle with bullets in her hand and fire at Todoroki's head. Todoroki barely dodges. Then he feels like the heat, and then the bullet scrapes his face. He's like, that was an actual bullet, and it hits the wall behind him. Oh, we'll just kind of just chuck the rifle itself at Todoroki, and it's spinning like a frisbee. And Todoroki can't dodge this one, as the back of it actually hits Todoroki in the jaw, almost breaking it. He doesn't get like flung off. He's almost knocked out though. So Momo says, He says, Midoriya, stop running real quick. Bakugo and Midoriya both do. She says, stomp the ground as hard as you can. As the team will run at Midoriya. Like Midoriya says, alright, just Bakugo and Momo, tighten your clutch on Tokoyami. They do, and Midoriya stomps on the ground as hard as he can. Now you can feel the ripple of or you can feel the shockwave outside of the arena. But the whole area that they're standing on, every participant that's standing on the ground is falling on their back and face and everything. Midoriya says, "How to teach them?" And as Midoriya waits for 2 minutes for everyone to get back up, and time runs out. So Midoriya's team wins, or Tokoyami's team wins, and yeah. We go to the fights. First fight is Midoriya versus Shinso. Shinso tries to tell Midoriya that Midoriya has a heroic quirk, and that's when Midoriya will break it to him. I don't have a quirk. I'm just strong. Shinso says, I see. Can I be strong like you? Midoriya just blitz Shinso and uppercut him in the gut, and he holds Shinso with his fist, saying, if I can become strong like this, you can too. As he'll just drop Shinso. And Shinso will smile before passing out. Shinso will smile, say, alright, then I'll work as hard as you. Then he passes out. Alright, Bakugo versus Araka. Araka's first move is try to rush to make Bakugo float. Bakugo's just in a snap, and then a shockwave comes off the snap and just sends Araka flying out of bounds. Well, almost out of bounds. She's at the line. Bakugo just blitzes her and just without even using too much effort, just uses 2 fingers and just pushes her head out of, and she falls over because she lost balance. And she's out of bounds. She says, Bakugo didn't even try that hard. Momo versus Tokoyami. The first thought, make a shield and a torch. And to do exactly that, and to shine it towards Dark Shadow's eyes. And Tokoyami says, damn it. As when, Momo will chuck the torch and hits Tokoyami in the head, knocking him out just because of how much force she used. She says, that was relatively easy. And Midoriya says, ugh, her throwing stuff at you is not a good case for him. Midoriya versus Todoroki. And when the fight starts, Todoroki says, you don't have that girl to save you this time. Midoriya says, you think I need her to save me? And so just blitz Todoroki using his max speed and just grab Todoroki's head and just slam him on the ground multiple times. And the time he stops slamming Todoroki, Todoroki's head's already bleeding excessively. Then he'll drop Todoroki, and Todoroki just weakly says, I submit. And Never's horrified at how much brutality Midoriya has. And Midoriya already knew Todoroki wasn't going to submit easily. So he made Todoroki submit by force. Painful, brutal force. And Midoriya's going to say, sorry Todoroki, but this was necessary. As Todoroki gets picked up by Cover Girl and everything. And yeah. Alright, the last fight, they want to see Midoriya, Momo, and Bakugo fight each other. So like a Royal Rumble. And Bakugo just gets clasps his hands together and says, shall we go all out? Momo just closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, opens her eyes again, and says, I suppose so. And she'll put both of her hands out as multiple blades and guns come out. Midoriya just takes a Rock Lee pose and says, alright, let's go. And then Sabantos says go. Midoriya just takes his hand underground and flips the whole side that he's not on over. It's Momo and Bakugo are spinning in the air. Then Midori gets for the first time he'll use observation and just get a clear view of like how to just jump and punch each of them. He'll just jump, attack Momo in the gut, knocking her out. Then he'll just climb. He'll run as fast as he can up like the flipping rock and just headbutt Bakugo, knocking him out. He'll slam the piece of rock back down as Momo and Bakugo just fall to the ground, out cold. And they say, with surprisingly fast speed, Izuku Midoriya wins. Inko's at home just cheering on Midori, saying, that's my baby boy. Yeah, good job. So yeah. Next day, they get to choose hero names. So Kirishima wears like bandages around his face for right now. Like Midoriya busts his face open just by squeezing it. But he does have like a scar similar to like Luffy under his eye now. And Kirishima's not mad at it. He's mad at himself for being weak. But Todoroki is like kind of mad at Midoriya for slamming his head on the ground multiple times. So yeah. Midoriya offers to go with Night Eye, and he's gonna take that one. Bakugo gets offers to go with Best Jeanist still, and Momo still gets the snake person. This time Momo has a lot more pride and refuses to do commercials and everything. Like the one's like, no, heroes, you won't get as much popularity without doing commercials. And Momo says, being a hero isn't about popularity. It's about helping people. He says, well, you won't make it to the top 10 or number 1 without at least doing one commercial. And Momo's response is, I don't care about the rank. I just want to be a hero. And Kendo's like, I don't have to agree with her as just like watch her do commercials. And like Momo's intern and like the woman that Momo's interning for like is mad at her for being right. And Best Jeanist is just like, he saw Bakugo fighting aggressively and thought he was like an actually aggressive person. He went Bakugo, and Bakugo was surprisingly calm around him. All he does is just sit down, eat rice crackers, and play with his goat. That's all he does. He'll go on patrol sometimes and it's like a slight argument or a mugging, and just snap and send out a shockwave, and everyone just stops and they just go on with their day. The muggings, on the other hand, Bakugo's a lot more cruel as he'll jump on you and start pounding your face to the dirt. Like, if you remember Bang versus Garo, and how, like, Bang just punched the ground and started, like, beating Garo to like, mercilessly, that's what Bakugo does to muggers even. Midori, on the other hand, is just, like, Night Eye demands he spars with Mirio, who has one for all, and can't move at Mach speeds. Midori can use observation pretty good now, and it's just like dodging every hit Mirio sends. And Midori will actually use Invisible Hockey and just deck Mirio. It sends Mirio flying onto the ground. Also, Midori's hero name is Justice Fist. Like Midori's hero name is the punching hero, Justice Fist. Momo still has her hero name as Creati, and hold up. Actually, I'm gonna say that like Bakugo's hero name is just literally Sengoku. Like, I'm gonna say that there's an anime character that Bakugo likes named Sengoku, and that's Bakugo's hero name, Sengoku. You know, his hero name is just gonna be Baku. I'm just gonna say that. Baku. What? Bakugo's hero name is gonna be Kaku, which I'm pretty sure means nuke in Japanese. So Kaku is Bakugo's hero name. Creati, Kaku, Justice Fist. If you have something better for Midori's hero name, comment it down below. But do not say the hero, because that's gonna be pretty weird. Like, imagine being saved by a hero named the hero. Alright, hero killer art. Midori's given permission to go on patrol by himself since he's pretty strong. Midori wound up in Hosu by getting lost. Like, he took a wrong turn, then kept walking that way for some reason, so he's in Hosu now. And he sees no one familiar except Todoroki, that's it. Then he'll use observation to find Ida, since he can figure out Ida wants to fight Stain. And Stain will try to like chop Ida's head off, but Midoriya catches the blade, saying, "You're hero killer Stain, right? I fought some guys that were inspired by you. The whole thing is to destroy fake heroes, right?" And Stain said, "Yes. I myself am saving these people from fakes like this young man." Midoriya says, Stain, what you're doing isn't heroic, it's more villainous. Think about it. You're killing someone's son, daughter, husband, or wife. And this guy right here, he isn't even 2 months into being a freshman in high school. You're already gonna end it. Saying people can change, and this lesson will probably change him. Satan's gonna say, "Fine, I'll leave the kid alive. I'm not gonna stop killing Hero." And then Midoriya's already in front of him with an uppercut to the jaw, saying, "Sorry, no second chances." And Satan's already on the ground. And Endeavor was following Midoriya since he heard from Night Eye. Midoriya isn't at the base yet, and Night Eye will give Midoriya the credit for not saving Stain, for beating Stain. So Midoriya gets the credit for that one. So actually, I'm gonna go over the arc where it's like the teachers versus the students. This time, Midoriya, Momo, and Bakugou are one team, but they have to fight. They have to fight All Might. They have to fight every teacher from UA after they recover from their fights, except All Might. All Might didn't have to recover from anything. But Momo, Bakugou, and Midoriya have to fight every teacher at UA by themselves. They should let Midoriya handle All Might. Nah, you're the only one that can hang with him at UA, you do it. Well, besides Aizawa can hang with All Might by using his quirk. Because Small Might can't handle Aizawa. Midoriya and All Might are actually going blow for blow to everyone's shock. And remember, him and Nomu going rapid fist, All Might and Nomu using rapid fist. That's what's happening with him and Midoriya. At one point, Midoriya will catch both of All Might's fists and actually just bite All Might's head, actually making blood spray out. And All Might just staggers, just the hell, he bit me. Then Midoriya just clap his hands on All Might's head, dazing him, then just hits All Might in the gut, sending him flying out of the views of the camera as All Might just debuffs in front of everyone. That's in the battlefield's eyes. It's just not the other members of Class 1A, because he's almost out of camera view. But Bakugou, Momo, Midoriya saw All Might just poof. And the teachers of UA are like, "Oh no, he hit him too hard." And the teachers got caught off guard as Bakugou and Momo beat them all, saying, "Alright, shocking, but you got caught off guard." And Aizawa will try to get it, but Bakugou's goat will hop off Bakugou's back and just headbutt Aizawa, knocking Aizawa out completely. All Might will get up, walking back into the room, saying, "Oh my god," as he's holding his stomach. And he thought that he was hit by All for One again. That's how hard Midoriya hits. All Might thought he lost the other half, the other part of his body. He's like, "I can never be a hero again." But he's fully buff. He's like, "Oh, all right, yeah, never again. I cannot fight him again." And for the first time, Bakugo swears. He says, "I'm pretty sure Midoriya just made All Might his bitch." And everyone's like, "Bakugo, I'm appalled." Even Mama and Midoriya were surprised that Bakugo cursed. So yeah, alright, this is the end of this part. This is what if Deku was Garp. I hope it's like this. This was recommended by Logan Rawl. I can't pronounce his last name, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I might be, I might not, don't know. But I hope I am. If I'm not, comment it down below if you're watching this. Alright, have a good day. Also, turn on post notifications. At least use personalized.